Alright, so now we're going to move on to the next stage of the build of the Space Battleship Yamato 2199 kit. And what you see here is just a small sample of the main bridge and deck of the ship. There's so many parts here, very little parts, that you got to be extra careful in how you manipulate these parts, and hopefully you don't lose them. The one thing about model ships is they'll always have, I mean, even though the ship is nicely detailed, there's a lot of small, fine detail parts that you could pretty much lose. So make sure you catalog it, make sure you sand it down, make sure you know which one you're going to work with first. Don't, immediately start cutting open without reading the manual clearly and carefully. So the first thing we're going to be working with is the bridge, what I would refer to as the bridge stabilizer wing. We're going to flip it over like this, and then taking this part here, sliding it down like so. I think I better play it safe because I don't want this thing to be movable all the time, so I'm just going to apply a little bit of glue there. Put it like this. Like that. Now, I'm going to put that to the side. This is actually the captain's main room, which is on top of the bridge. So what you want to do is you want to put this little clear part there, followed by this part over here, and then we got this little part over here. Now again, I don't want to put this on and then take it off just so I can glue it, so I might as well do this now. We'll do a little dab there, and then we're going to do a little dab over here. Hold on a second, we're going to do this. Alright, there we go. So it kind of looks like that, and then we have, while this thing is upside down, I guess we can glue this one, so I'm going to glue that there. There we go. So it should look like that. Alright, so that part is complete. Now we're going to merge these two parts here, which is the main part of the bridge. I'm going to get these two right there. Close it up. Now, in this position, you want to take this part here, and it supposedly goes there, where you see that part. So, put a little glue there. Actually, I'm going to need to fill it up again. So, you want to stick this so it looks like that, and then just put a little glue there. So it looks like that. Now there are these two little holes in the back, and it's where you're going to put in one of the many anti-aircraft or anti-battery guns. The one that you want to get is the one that is in a curve angle. So, and it's supposedly supposed to face backwards. I think this is one of the most delicate parts of the kit is the AA guns, and even though I think even the big 350 scale version has some amazing details on the AA guns, they're very fragile, and they, if you lose them, you're gonna have a hard time finding them. So on a 1000 scale version, it's kind of hard to keep them in check. Especially when the guns are nicely detailed and they're easy to bend. There you go. So it looks like that. Now, finishing up, we put this guy on top. And make sure it's facing like that. And the reason why you're going to do that is you're going to take the clear parts, which is the last of the clear parts, and put it there. And then you take this front part here, and it goes like that. So it looks like this. Then we have these two little side parts here. And we put this one over here. And this one over here. There we go. So this is part one of the building of the bridge. Moving on to part two of the main bridge build. We take this part here, which is actually the rear section of the ship, and then carefully you take two parts that I cannot seem to find because they're so small. Oh, back here. There we go. Yeah, these are two more anti-aircraft guns. I keep saying anti-aircraft, but you know, I'm going to call them AA guns. There we go. Makes it a lot easier for me to say that. So two AA guns, and then one goes in here like that, and the other one goes in here like this. Feels a little loose, so I'm going to reinforce it a bit. I might as well glue this part, because it goes right behind this. I'm going to close it up. Be careful. Last thing you want to do is squeeze on the actual anti-aircraft gun and bend the barrels. But I think I see an issue here. Oh yeah, one of the plastics is sticking out. Where's my oh, there we go. Okay, let's just put it back into place. There we go. Alright, so it came out alright. So that's done. At this point in time, you got to be very careful because there's going to be a lot of small parts that's going to be fussing about and moving about here. I'm going to put this glue here and here. And where is my... Yep, there it is. Tweezers. It's actually not the tweezers I like to use the most, but I'm going to have to use it for now because I can't seem to find the other one. And basically I'm going to take this part and slide it in there. I'll apply a little pressure like that. Then I'm going to grab the other side, do the same thing. Yikes. Let me see if I can do it with my fingers. Good. Put a little glue there. Now, I'm going to put some glue here and here because we have the communications radar, and if I'm not mistaken, I think there's a specific way of doing this. Yes. Let me put this one in first, over here, and then take this one, stick that in there like so. For those of you who probably cannot see it, the actual radar itself, I would call it radar systems, yeah. There's a curve on each side. So if you look at it, there's a flat side, but there's a curved side here. So be careful with that and make sure you properly align that. The last two more parts that I gotta put on this bridge. So one goes here and here. And it's a weird thing. Don't know if it's considered anti-aircraft guns or some sort of sensory. Nope, that was close. No. Hang on a second. Okay, found it. Gave me a little bit of a heart attack there. You stay in there and take some of this glue with you. This is one of the most annoying things about it, something this small, which on a model kit is, you know, barely has any function. No, Christ on a pony. Give me a moment. This part is going to be the death of me. There we go. Alright, sorry for the scare, guys. Didn't mean to be like that. But this part is done. So I'm going to put this over here. Now we're going to work on the smokestack, which is actually technically not a smokestack anymore. The original Yamato design, the smokestack was basically a smokestack because of, you know, it was some massive engines that powered the Yamato ship. But once it was converted into a spacecraft, the stacks were replaced with ballistic missiles. I'm going to take the scenes where they showed the ballistic missiles was shown again in the series when they landed onto Pluto. I can imagine there are many people who are mad at the people who created the Yamato series now that they did the new version of Yamato. Consider that now they're probably saying, well, Pluto is no longer a planet, it's a big rocky asteroid. Well, you know, it's a series, leave it alone. Alright, so we're going to come down to this part here, which is also the bottom part of the bridge. You want to put these two little parts here, followed by this part here, and this part here. If I can get in there, come on. Come on now, get in there. Nope, gotcha. I was glad that that part fell on my foot. So now the next thing you need to do is put these two parts here. Okay, one more to go. Alright, I think that's pretty much it. But I want to make sure this thing stays into place, so I'm going to put thin drops there. Oops. The last parts that I got to put together are the anti-aircraft guns. But let me put these two together first. So we have this part here, and supposedly this part goes like that, so it goes, I gotta put a little there. Here we go. So it looks like this. And then we put it on here. So it looks like this. Alright, so far so good. I'll get to the cannons in a moment.